chapter 6. The Syrian army, right? The king was meeting with his guys, trying to plan a trap for the king of Israel. But Elisha, a prophet, a man of God, was sending word to the king, hey, don't go down there by so-and-so. They're laying a trap for you. And this happened time and time and time again, to the point that the king of Syria is like, which one of y'all telling this man our business? We got a spy in here. And they said, no, Lord, it's a man of God. It's a prophet over there. He's telling what you speak in your bedchambers. Now they get the bright idea, okay, well, let's just go get him. Okay, so look, if you can't trap the king, if God is telling him about the king, you don't think God going to tell him about him? I mean, Satan's stupid sometimes. So they go and they find out where he is, and he's got his servant there, and they surround the house, surround the mountainside, and the servant goes out, see all the people. Now he's scared. He running back in all out. Master, they surrounded. What we going to do? Elisha cool, calm, collect. Why? Because of what he knows. Because of what he knows. He says, no, don't worry about it. There's more that be with us than it be with them. Are you understand what I'm saying? Now, there's no record that says that Elisha could see this, but obviously we know he knew this. So he prays to the Father, open the eyes of my servant so he can see. So now his eyes become open, right? And so now he sees the angels on chariots of fire surrounding the whole mountainside. Are you following what I'm saying? Now, how did Elisha know? Gifts of the Spirit, word of knowledge, right? So we got gifts operating where his servant is now operating in the discerning of spirits and can actually see in the spirit realm, right? So what happens? Elisha prays, says, Lord, strike them blind. Boom. The whole army goes blind. Now check this out. Then he says, look, this ain't where you want to be. This ain't who you're looking for. I'll show you where you're looking for. Y'all grab hand, follow me. And led them down to Israel's army. Turn them over into the custody of the army. And then the army said, well, look, let's kill them. So, should we kill them? So, no, don't kill them. Would you have killed them if you had taken them hostage or captive by your hand? No, don't kill them. They got the sight restored, they were fed, and then they were let go. And they never troubled them again. So now here's my point I want to make. God rescued an entire nation by way of the manifestation of the Spirit. He rescued an entire nation. You mean he can't rescue your marriage? He can't rescue your finances? He can't rescue your job? He can't fix your problem. He fixed it for a whole nation by the manifestation of his Spirit. He can handle what you got going on. He can move and manifest himself in you, to you, through you, for you, so that you can profit from it. Amen. Now, that's his intentions. That's his plan. That's his will. That's as far as it goes from God's end, to make known his intentions and his plans. Now, the degree to which that happens, that's on us. That's on me and my role and my responsibility. That's on you and your role and your responsibility. Now that it's revealed, now that it's unfolded, now that it's been placed before us, why is he revealing it? So we can know what to set our faith for. So as I teach more on it, faith cometh by hearing. So we know what to release and set our faith for. We know what to target our faith for. We know what to give our time and attention to. We know what to be pressing into. We know what is dear and precious to his heart in this hour. And we need to do our part to give our attention to it. Why? So that it can be real in us and through us. So that means There's a whole lot of that. The majority of that is going to be done before we ever assemble here. So you and I, each one of us, we have to decide and determine for ourselves, how hungry are we for great movement and manifestation of the Spirit? Because it's not going to come to pass just because it's God's will for it to come to pass. It's not even going to come to pass because we pray for it. Because things like this, they happen according to the measure and the level that you hunger for it, that you thirst for it. Right? You in 1 Corinthians? Go back to 1 Corinthians. I promise I'm going to stop now. I'm going to stop with this verse. Go back to 1 Corinthians chapter 12. You back in 1 Corinthians 12? Look at verse 31. But covet earnestly the best gifts. Covet earnestly. We are to covet earnestly the best. The Amplifier says, but earnestly desire and zealously cultivate the greatest and best gifts and graces, the higher gifts and choicest graces. What's the best gift? What's the best gift? A question was asked. Y'all know who Oral Roberts was? Y'all heard of Oral Roberts, right? Very powerful healing evangelist. A question, they asked Oral Roberts, what's the best gift? Oral Roberts said the best gift is the one you need at the time. The gift that's needed at the time, that's the best one. Sometimes it might be a word of knowledge that's needed, coupled with the gift of prophecy. Whatever the situation calls for, God will manifest himself accordingly. But the point I want to make is they're not going to happen just because they're not going to happen if we just, okay, sarah, don't care if it do, don't care if it don't. No, you got to earnestly desire, zealously cultivate, seek, go after, hunger, thirst. How do you do that? In your prayer time, in your confession time, putting it before your eyes. Look at this chapter and begin to confess, hey, the manifestation of the Spirit is given to everybody to profit by. I believe I received the manifestation of the Spirit given to me so that I can profit by. I believe I received the manifestation of the Spirit given to me so that I can do my part to profit the church. I believe, and you give your time. Now, and you cultivate a more intimate relationship with God where you grow to trust in his love for you. Now, all of this, see, I think my opinion is the beginning point for going after it is you have to have a desire for people to profit. You got to care about people. You got to realize, you got to have the attitude, hey, I'm going to go throughout my day today. I'm going to be in the presence of people today. And their welfare and well-being could depend on the time I spend with you today, God. You got to want the best for others. And another thing that you cannot get around if you want to grow in this, pray much in the Spirit. Pray much in other tongues. Edifying yourself, building yourself up on your most holy faith. It increases your sensitivity to the leadings and movement and manifestations of the Spirit. It helps you to more readily, more easily recognize and discern God's voice from that which is not. And it strengthens and edifies your inner being to the point that it allows God's power